exciting episode of recent legal developments and new and interactive forms of basic legal learning to all, not only to those confined to the legal fraternity. We have started this project of Kanuni Charcha with the aim to spread awareness about laws which knowingly and unknowingly are being violated in day-to-day life basis with remedial procedures and methods. Today, the internet has become the part and parcel of our daily lives. From buying groceries and medicines to connecting to millions of people across the globe through social networking sites, everything is just a click away. The right to internet is guaranteed as the fundamental right by the Honorable Supreme Court of India under Article 19 of the Constitution of India in consonance with the United Nations recommendations. But people in our country misuse the power of internet, and most of the times the women community become the underlying victims. There is no other underemphasis reality that female abuse over social networking sites across the globe has grown manifold. However, if it is overlooked or it goes unreported, which is the primary concern around the world today. It is an open secret that since the time immemorial, women and young girls in our country are often preached at length for always being overcautious and docile. Even in the 21st century, it is still prevalent. A woman is asked to be more heedful and vigilant for anything and everything she does. Either it is something online or offline, for something as trivial as taking selfies or for posting the same on her social media accounts.
So let us talk about various forms of cybercrimes against women. There is a long list of such crimes, but I will be talking about those which are most prevalent during recent times. First one is cyber stalking. What is cyber stalking? Stalking means intrusion in person's privacy in order to terrorize, harass, torture, or to intimidate the victim. Whereas cyber stalking includes following someone silently or tracking someone's activity in an online or offline mode for gathering knowledge or personal information of other person without their consent. The offender tries to contact the victim and forms a relationship without his or her consent. Punishment of cyber stalking is it all includes imprisonment up to 3 years and fine when it is committed for the first time. And it can increase up to 5 years of imprisonment and fine when done on a subsequent basis. The first case of cyber stalking against a woman was discovered in Maharashtra, which happened in July 2015 in the case of Yogesh Prabhu versus State of Maharashtra. In this case, the woman chatted with this person, and when he proposed her for marriage, she turned it down and stopped talking to him. She also removed him from her friend list. However, he continued to stalk her and kept knowledge about her whereabouts. Months later, he started sending her obscene videos and photographs via email from an anonymous ID. She later filed a complaint to the police, and the Cybercrime Investigation Cell started investigation on the same. Second one is cyber pornography or non consensual photography or revenge porn. What is cyber pornography? It is a conduct of creating, publishing, communicating photographic materials by using the cyberspace. Earlier, this law was governed under Section 292 of IPC, which dealt with the crime of obscenity and is intended to degrade and corrupt people. Hence, now this section includes the sale, distribution, communication, publicly displaying or earning any profits from such business and makes it a crime which is punishable under law. Punishment for this crime is under provision of IT Act, which includes imprisonment of up to 5 years and a fine which can exceed up to 10 lakhs in case of first conviction, and imprisonment of 7 years and a fine up to 10 lakhs in case of subsequent conviction. The case of State of West Bengal versus Animesh Books is said to be the first case of conviction of the first revenge porn case in India. The victim and the defendant were in relationship, taking advantage of it. The defendant managed to get hold of some private photographs. Later, in time, he started blackmailing the victim with them and posted it online to seek revenge for ending their relationship. He was punished under following acts. Third one is morphing. What is morphing? This includes improvising or editing the real picture by a fake or an unauthorized user by way of creating false profile or fake profile and then downloading the victim's photograph from internet and then edits in a manner which harms the original identity of the victims and post it on social networking sites or any mode which can harm the reputation of the victim. It is now so common that anyone can use such process for taking revenge or for fun purpose, which damage the modesty of the woman. It includes attaching the photograph of the victim to a photograph which have nudity or schemy clothes of another woman by the use of such automated software which are available easily and can destroy the image or the character of the victim easily in front of a larger public. Celebrities are the most common target of all the time for the sake of fun. For this crime, punishment are covered under following sections. The list of cybercrime against women includes online trolling, bullying, blackmailing, threat, or intimidation. This is most prevalent in recent times. It is not surprising to note that India stands at third position after China and Singapore in cyberbullying. Social media platforms leaves no stone unturned when it comes to making memes either against a woman or men. However, our patriarchy leads way more women trolling as compared to men. Online trolling against women includes threats of acid attack, rapes, and other form of grave hurt because a woman had raised her voice against the opinion of the mass. The recent case of threat which came in highlight was rape threat against Mahendra Singh Dhoni's daughter. Online complaint mechanism on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter are also not always effective tool for curb such activities. An action against troll can be brought under Section 67 of the Information Technology Act 2000 if the post amount to be offensive in nature of the internet.
Lundy Bancroft said, scars from mental cruelty can be as deep and long lasting as wounds from punches or slaps, but are more often not as obvious. These types of abuse cause women emotional and psychological breakdown that in turn causes them health issues such as depression and anxiety. It not only hampers their mental health but also questions their physical safety as well as the safety of their family members. There has been 113 reported cases of cyber blackmailing, 1158 cases of cyber pornography, 791 cases of cyber stalking or bullying, 61 cases of cyber defamation morphing, 289 cases of fake profile contributing to total of 8,379 cases of women being victim of these crimes. Also, that these are just the reported cases where the cases are unreported are very high. These stats are of 2019 and since lockdown 2020, these cases would have risen considerably higher. According to the report by the United Nations, about 60% of women across the world have faced some kind of threat on social media. The survey has conducted among more than 14,000 women from 22 countries including India. The age of the women included in the survey was between 15 and 25 years. According to this survey, 39% of women have faced online violence on Facebook, while the number of women who have been victims of violence on Instagram is 23%. Online violence through WhatsApp against women is 14%, while 10% women face violence on Snapchat. About 9% of women Twitter users and 6% of TikTok users have witnessed violence of some kind or other. According to a survey by a website called ViaSatSavings.com, due to online abuse, 74% of women on Facebook have to block someone or something. This number is even higher when it comes to Instagram. It is praiseworthy that there are many provisions in our country about the abuse of women, but the social stigma, dishonor, and the shame that the women face even without her fault are still widespread, which is worrisome. We, as a society, need to stand with the victim rather than finding the fault in the individual. The most pressing need of the hour is to have more stringent laws and punishments with effective cybercrime prevention and security on social networking sites. We, as a society, is required to provide an environment under which women can report the abuse to the authorities without the fear of being judged, insecure, losing their jobs, and other. So let's continue and let's come together in solidarity, stand up for what is right, and fight the evil.